7 Men's Stories Exciting Entertainment.
In the grip of ghost ships. Deep in the vast oceans they drift, abandoned, mysterious, and full of secret. These are the ghost ships. For centuries, legends and myths have surrounded these eerie vessels. They have been spotted as silhouettes on the horizon, shrouded in fog, or suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Tales of ghost ships have struck fear into the hearts of sailors and intrigued researchers, eager to solve their mysteries. What is the truth behind these crewless ships drifting silently across the seas? Are they simply natural phenomena, the victims of pirate attacks, or could there be supernatural forces at play? In this story, we will explore the real events and facts behind some of the most famous ghost ships in history. The Mary Celeste, a baffling emptiness. On the 4th of December in the year 1872, the captain of a British merchant ship named Dei Gratia spotted the Mary Celeste drifting near the Azores in the rough seas. The crew of the Dei Gratia cautiously approached and discovered a strange sight. The Mary Celeste was floating aimlessly on the waves. Its sails were partially torn, but otherwise the ship was in good condition. There were no signs of a struggle, no evidence of violence. Meals were still set on the table, and the cargo hold was intact, filled with barrels of alcohol. Yet there was no sign of the crew or passengers. Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and the 7-man crew had all vanished without a trace. Not a single lifeboat remained on board. Only a few personal journals and logbooks were found, describing the ship as being in perfect condition and seaworthy. So, what had happened? Over the years, various theories have emerged. Some speculated that the crew and passengers might have panicked due to a suspected alcohol explosion and fled in the lifeboats. Others suggested the possibility of a pirate attack or even mutiny. However, there were no signs of violence or theft. To this day, the fate of those on board the Mary Celeste remains an unsolved mystery. The Flying Dutchman, the eternal ghost ship. No ghost ship has sparked more fascination than the Flying Dutchman. Its legend dates back to the 17th century, telling of a ship doomed to sail the world's oceans forever as punishment for its deeds. According to the tale, Captain Hendrik van der Decken commanded the ship through a storm off the Cape of Good Hope, challenging the devil himself to send him to hell. His blasphemy led to a curse that forced him and his ship to sail the seas for eternity. Sightings of the Flying Dutchman are numerous. In the year 1887, it was reportedly seen by the British royal ship HMS Bacchante. Even King George V, then a young cadet on board, claimed to have seen it, a ghostly apparition glowing red, retreating into the mist and mysteriously vanishing. While the Flying Dutchman is widely regarded as a myth, it is deeply embedded in maritime folklore. It symbolizes the fear sailors have of the unpredictability of the seas and the fates that await them on the endless waves. The Octavius, frozen in time. Another disturbing ghost ship story is that of the Octavius. In 1779, a whaling ship named the Herald came across the Octavius in the frigid waters of the Northwest Passage. The ship was trapped in ice, its sails tattered, and no sign of life on board. When the crew of the Herald boarded the Octavius, they found a chilling scene. The entire crew was dead, frozen as if time had stood still. The captain was still seated at his desk, a pen in his hand, as though he had been making an entry in the logbook at the moment he froze. The last logbook entry was dated 13 years earlier, suggesting that the ship and its crew had been trapped in the ice all those years. What made the Octavius's journey even more eerie was the fact that it had traversed the Northwest Passage from west to east, a feat officially achieved only many years later. the Ourang Medan, death trap in the Strait of Malacca. Another ghost ship that left a lasting impression is the Ourang Medan. In the year 1947, ships near the Strait of Malacca received a chilling SOS message. All officers, including the captain, are dead. Lying in the chart room and on the bridge, possibly whole crew, dead. The distress call ended with the words, "I die." When an American merchant ship, the Silver Star, located the Ourang Medan, they found a horrific sight. Bodies were strewn across the deck, faces twisted in terrifying grimaces, eyes wide open. It seemed as though in their final moments they had witnessed something unspeakably dreadful. The cause of death remains a mystery. Some speculated about toxic gases leaking from the cargo hold or poisoning from hazardous chemicals. Others believed that supernatural forces might have been at work. The incident remains unexplained, and the Ourang Medan disappeared as suddenly as it had appeared, engulfed in flames and sinking into the ocean. The Baychimo, the ship that refused to give up. Not all ghost ships are relics of past centuries. The Baychimo, a 20th century ship, is an example of a ghost ship that escaped the modern age. The Baychimo was a cargo vessel transporting coal and furs through the icy waters of Alaska. In 1932, the ship was caught in a severe storm and became trapped in ice. The crew was evacuated and the Baychimo was abandoned, but the Baychimo was not ready to retire. It was sighted repeatedly, drifting through the Arctic Ocean. Several attempts to salvage the ship failed. Over the decades, the Baychimo was spotted by Inuits, explorers, and even the U.S. Coast Guard. The last documented sighting was in 1967. Since then, it has not been seen, but the legend lives on. The Carroll A. Deering, the mysterious fate of the schooner. In January of the year 1921, the Carroll A. Deering, a 5-masted schooner, was found stranded on a reef off the coast of North Carolina. The sails were set, but the crew was missing. The logbook and navigational instruments were also gone. Evidence suggested that the ship had been abandoned in haste, possibly using the lifeboats. Investigations yielded no clear answers. Some speculated that pirates might have hijacked the Deering, while others thought there might have been a mutiny. The mysterious demise of the Carroll A. Deering led to a series of conspiracy theories that remain unsolved to this day. The Kaz II, the ghost yacht of Australia. A more recent example of a ghost ship is the Kaz II, a yacht found in the year 2007 off the coast of Australia. The vessel was adrift, the engines still running, a table set with food, and a laptop switched on. But the 3 men who were on board were nowhere to be found. The Kaz II showed no signs of struggle, no damage, and no clues as to what happened to the crew. Theories range from a freak accident that sent all 3 men overboard to abductions by third parties. Yet, like other ghost ships, the mystery remains unsolved, the enduring fascination with ghost ships. Ghost ships are not just stories from the distant past. They are woven into our cultural fabric, playing on our deepest fears, the fear of the unknown, the loneliness of the open sea, and the idea of the impossible. Whether caused by human error, natural disasters, or inexplicable phenomena, the truth behind ghost ships often remains hidden. Yet these stories and legends continue to sail across the seas, lingering in the minds and hearts of those who dare to listen.
Feel free to follow this channel to avoid missing any new content. Disclaimer: the images are AI generated and are for illustration purposes. The stories on this channel are researched to the best of our knowledge.